Hello guys, my name is Nicholas from Exolvate Games team and welcome to a new C++ RNG5 series. This time we are diving into a skill tree system inspired by the work of Gorka Games. While his prototype was a great starting point, we have decided to expand the system even furthermore because the original version was incomplete. For the first time, we'll be asking for your suggestions on how to improve and expand the system. We are not sure how many parts the series will have, but we are certain it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think that I don't have anything else to say, so let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do, we need to create a new project. I'm going to create a new project in Unreal Engine 5.4 version. So I think that if you use other versions, there will be no problems, but maybe it's best to use the 5.4. Okay, so open your Unreal Engine, then click on Games, and we need to select a third person because we want a third person character project. Don't forget to select C++, okay, and make sure that starter content is not checked, and the last thing that we need to do is basically give a name to our project. I'm going to name it something like skill tree system, and I think that that's pretty alright. If you want, you can give it some other name and just click on create. Okay, so here we are inside our Unreal Engine, and the first thing that we are going to do, we need to create a new C++ classes. Okay, so let's open our content drawer by clicking Control Space on our keyboard. And we need to go to this C++ classes folder and go to this folder right here. In your situation, it can be named differently. It depends on the name of your project. Okay, so you see that mine is skill tree system, and also this folder right here is going to be named the skill tree system. So open it, and this is the place where we are going to create a new C++ classes. So how we are going to do that? By clicking right click on our mouse and selecting this new C++ class option. So just click on that, and from this list there is no a class that we are going to use. So we need to go to these all classes, and here we need to search for user widget. So the user widget class is going to be a parent class of the class that we are currently making. I assume that you have already heard before about blueprint user widgets. Okay, so later we are going to attach them to our screen, and basically we are creating a user interface where our skill tree will be. So just select that user widget, click on the next, and I'm just going to name this user widget, or basically this class, just a skill. So let's create a class, and let's wait a little bit. So what this skill represents, this skill user widget represents each skill that we are going to attach later to our second class that we are going to create, or basically the user widget class that will be just skill tree. And that skill tree is going to be attached to our screen. Okay, so let's create that new class. We are doing the same process. From all classes, we need to search for user widget. Let's select the user widget, and let's name it skill tree. So let's just create a class, and let's wait a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to import an icon that I'm going to use for my skill tree system for each skill that we are going to have inside our skill tree. So you will have the link in the description of this video, so just download it and import it inside your project. Okay, so what I have did, I have just created a new folder that is a child folder to this content folder, and I have imported this skill icon that I'm going to say it again, that you have in the description of this video. So now just open that skill icon, and we need to search for texture group, okay, and from the drop down menu we need to select the UI. So let's save it and close it, and now you will see that our icon has this transparent background, okay. So now we have imported everything that we had, and that is this icon right here. Now we need to go to our code editor that is opened along with our Unreal Engine when we have created our project. So let's just close our Unreal Engine. And now you will see this message right here. So this message right here is telling to us that we have made some changes inside our Unreal Engine, and now we need to basically reload all the classes. So let's just reload all, and basically that message has disappeared. And now let's basically set up the skill user widget first. So what we need to do first here, we need to type protected. Okay, so now the first thing that we are going to declare will be basically a native construct override function. And don't worry, I'm going to explain in a moment what it is. So basically this override native construct function is a function that is going to be triggered whenever our widget is created or basically constructed. So basically that is something like begin play inside the other classes. So let's create a definition by clicking the right click on our mouse, then quick actions and refactorings, and just create a definition of a native construct. And now inside our .cpp file we will have this code block where we can just implement the logic inside our native construct. But if we want to get the default behavior of our native construct override function, we need from the super class we need to get the native construct and basically just to do like this. So now we are getting the default behavior of our native construct function. I didn't explain what is this .header file and this .cpp file. So for each class we have these two classes. So .header file is a place where we are going to declare functions, variables, and etc. And .cpp file is a place where we are going to implement the logic for those functions, give those variables values, and etc. So I hope you get the point. If anything is clear, feel free to reach to us throughout our Discord server, or basically write a comment down below, and our team is going to help you. So now let's just declare a new variable. So that will be a variable that is going to have a specifiers of a visible anywhere, and the second specifier is going to be a meta. So here we need to type meta equals bind widget, and don't worry guys, I'm going to explain in a moment what is this meta equals bind widget. And I also assume that you know what is this visible anywhere, and also we are going to give it another specifier that is a category. I really hope that you're watching this tutorial and having in your mind that you need to have some basic knowledge about C++ for Unreal Engine 5, and because of that, I'm just going throughout these basic things a little bit faster. Okay, so now our variable that have those specifiers will be a class of uButton. Okay, and it will be basically a pointer, so don't forget this this asterisk sign right here, and I'm going to name it something like button. What we have did here, we have declared a new variable that has that is a class of button, but you will see this this red line right here. So what what we can do about that, we can just here type class, and that red line will disappear. We have basically imported that class, and yeah, that's what we have did. So the red line has disappeared. But if you want to use this class multiple times, you can just delete that. And here above this U class, we can type class and then U button, and basically the red line will disappear. So this is the way that you can use your U button class multiple times. So I'm just going to leave it like this. Now we need basically to compile our code, and we are going to do that by clicking Ctrl-Shift-B. And we are doing that because we want to see if there's any errors. Now we need to launch our Unreal Engine, and the way that we can do that is by clicking Ctrl F5, and your Unreal Engine is going to be launched. So here we are inside our Unreal Engine. Now I'm going to open my content drawer, and we need to go to our C++ classes folder. We need to open this folder right here. And now the next thing that we need to do, we need to create a blueprint child class from this skill C++ class. Why we are doing that? We are basically doing that because we need to create appropriate look for our skill widget that later we are going to attach to our skill tree widget. Like I said, this skill widget is going to represent each skill. That is going to have its own values. Basically, we need to right click on our mouse. We need to right click on this skill and just basically create a blueprint class based on skill. So I'm actually going to store it inside skill tree icons, and after doing this, I'm going to create a separate folder where we are going to store our blueprints widget. But for now, let's store it inside the skill tree icons, and later we are going to move it. How we are going to name it? I'm going to name it something like bpw_skill. So a shortcut for blueprint widget _skill. And let's just create our skill class. So now you will see that this window right here has appeared. Let's close it down. And now let's just create quickly a folder where we are going to store our blueprints. So I'm going to name it something like blueprints. Let's just move that widget inside that blueprints folder. So let's click just on move here. And let's open that widget, our blueprint widget skill. So now let's try to compile our blueprint, and I waited till this moment because we have got this error, and I want to tell you that we are getting this error because of that specifier that we have gave to that one variable, or basically a button variable, that is a meta equals bind widget specifier. So what we are doing with that specifier, we are actually creating a variable that is holding a component that needs to be created inside the blueprint widget, and that component inside that blueprint widget, or in this situation this blueprint widget, needs to carry the same type of component and also a name that is basically a button. So yeah, basically for each variable that you create and that have that meta equals bind widget specifier, you will need to add here additional component with the same type and the same name inside your blueprint widget. Okay, so I'm just trying to explain it as much easier as I can, and basically I'm trying to give you as much details as I can. I'm not that good in explaining things, but I hope that you're getting these things right. Okay, so now let's just here search for our button, and let's drag it right here. And let's just here on the right side in the details panel, let's give it the name of a button, because our variable is inside our code editor is named button. So now if I compile my blueprint widget, you will see that actually that error has disappeared, and now we are succeeding with compiling our blueprint widget. So now you will see this normal, hovered and pressed, and now for the image we need to search for our skill tree icon. Also for the hovered. So skill icon, and also for the pressed we need to search for skill icon, and let's compile it and save it. And the one last thing that we need to do for our blueprint widget underscore skill, here for this fill screen we need to click on this desired on screen, and now our icon will look more natural. So yeah, that is a cool thing that we have did. Let's just compile our blueprint widget underscore skill, and let's save it. Now the next thing that we need to do, we need to go to our code editor and declare some variables for our skill tree that are going also to have that meta equals bind widget specifier, and later we are going to, inside the blueprint widget child class from this skill tree C++ class, we are going to add those or basically to bind those widget with those variables. And I'm going to say it again, they are going to have the same name and they are going to be a same type. Now let's just close our Unreal Engine, and let's go to our skill tree dot header. So the first thing that we are going to do, we are actually going to basically here type protected. Let's under protected, let's first declare a virtual void native construct function. I have already explained what is this native construct function, so I'm not going to do that again. So let's just create a definition for that native construct function, and from the super class we need to get a native construct in order to get basically the default behavior of a native construct function. Now we need to go to our .header file of our skill tree class, and we are going to actually type uProperty, or actually I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to copy these specifiers. They are going to each variable that we are going to declare will have the absolutely same specifiers, so I'm going to copy that and paste it here, and the first variable that we are going to declare will be a canvas panel, or basically a panel where we are going to basically attach those components. Okay, so let's just name it something like a canvas panel. So you will see this red line right here. I have explained it before. We are getting this red line because our class is not imported. So here above uClass, we need to type a class, and then we need to import this uCanvas panel class, and now the red line will disappear. Okay, so the next thing that we need to declare will be basically an image. So we are going to use that image as a background color. So you will see later what I mean by that. It is going to have the same specifiers. It is going to be a class of uImage, and I'm just going to name it something like a background color. So what we need to do here, we need to import that uImage class. So by typing class and then uImage, the next thing that we need to do, we need to basically declare another variable. It's going to have the same specifiers. It will be a class of text block, so it will be some kind of a text, and also we need to import that class. It will be actually a main text, and maybe it is the best way to declare all of those variables without explanation, and later you will see that what we are going to use these components for. So don't worry, this is actually a pretty easy thing. So now what we need to do, we need to copy this, and now we are going to declare a variable that will be a class of skill. This class right here, but we need to actually import that class. So by typing class and the uSkill, we are going to do that, and I'm just going to name it something like widget underscore skill underscore one, and you will actually see I said that I'm going to declare those things without explanation, and later I'm going to show you what we are going to do with those variables and components. So let's just copy this and paste it 10 more times. Okay, so 3, or actually, okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's change those numbers. So this will be the third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so let's do that for the rest of these. Okay, so this will be 10 and this will be 11. Okay, so basically we will need the 11 these variables that will be a class of view skill. Now we need to declare also variables that will be a class of uImage. That will be a class of uImage. So we will need actually 10 of these, but I'm going to name it something like line_1, and you will see what we are going to do with those. Maybe if you take a closer look on the start of this video at a skill tree that we're currently making, you will maybe see what we are declaring these components for. So basically what we are creating that look of our skill tree. Okay, so these lines will be basically the lines that are connecting each skill. So no more talking, let's do the rest of the work that we need. So 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's change those numbers. Okay, and you'll actually see that this makes sense. So just follow my steps, what I'm doing here, and you will see that actually this makes sense. Okay, so I think that now we can launch our Unreal Engine. So let's compile our code in order to see if there's any errors. And now let's launch our Unreal Engine. So here we are inside our Unreal Engine. Now we need to do the same process that we have did for our skill C++ class. Now we need to do that for our skill tree. So right click on it and let's just create a blueprint class based on skill tree, or basically creating a blueprint child class. We are going to store it inside blueprints folder, and I'm going to name it something like bpw underscore skill tree. So let's create that skill tree class, and don't worry guys, I'm going to explain what each component is doing here. Okay, so now let's go to our blueprints folder and let's open this bpw underscore skill tree. So the first component that we need to create and to bind is a canvas panel. So let's search for canvas panel. This canvas panel will help us to attach the component in a right place. Okay, now we need to name that canvas panel to have the same name as our variable, and that is just canvas panel. Now if I compile my code, you will see that actually an error for our canvas panel has disappeared. The next thing that we need to declare, or actually not declare, but the next thing that we need to do is to create a new component that will be basically an image. Okay, so and it is going to have a name of background color. So let's drag it on our canvas panel. It is going to be actually a child component of our canvas panel component. So let's actually anchor it to be the full screen. So let's click on this and now let's just reset these options, and also for the offset bottom we need to type 0, and for the offset right we need also to type 0. For the color and opacity we need to basically set to to black, and for the opacity I'm going to type it something like 0.5. Okay, so we have declared that we have declared a variable for this component right here, that is basically the background color, and yeah, actually whenever we toggle our inventory on, not inventory but skill tree, you will see basically that in the background of our skill tree we will have this background that is this dark color. So yeah, we by doing this we are just making our skill tree looking more prettier. It is actually not that important. So let's compile and save, but we have actually forgot to I have actually forgot to rename it, so we need to set the exact same name of a variable that we have declared inside our C++ or actually code editor, and now the error has disappeared. The next thing we need to do, we need to basically add this main text. Okay, so not this, what I have did. Okay, so we need to go to the designer. We need to create a component for this main text. It will be basically a text, so let's search for text. Let's drag it right here for the anchor. Let's position it to be in the center top. Okay, so something like this. Let's reset these options. For the alignment, let's set it to be 0.5, 0.5, and for the justification, let's click on this align text center. Now let me just increase this green box a little bit, and let's this position X set to 0 and position Y set to 0. So I'm just going to increase the font a little bit, so it will be something like 30, or actually not a 30 but 35, and for the text I'm going to here type skill tree, and I think that that is pretty alright. So for the position Y I'm going to type something like 80 maybe, or 90. Okay, and yeah, that will be actually pretty alright. You will see that we have this main text that is showing us that we have toggled on our skill tree. Okay, so this is another thing that is not that important. Basically it is making our skill tree widget making look more prettier. Okay, so let's rename that text block to be the main text. Okay, so main text. Let's compile, and you will see that actually our error for our main text has disappeared, and now we have left these. The thing that we have to do is basically to create a components for these skill widgets, okay, and also for these line images component. So let's search for skill, and you will see this bpw underscore skill. So let's drag it right here, and for the position X and Y, it needs to be same. So I'm going to type some, or actually not position, but size. It is going to have a size, or actually, let me just see what is the best size. I think that this is pretty big, so something like 100 will be pretty alright. Okay, or actually 120. Okay, so yeah, basically the one thing that you need to do, these two sizes X and Y needs to have the same values. So basically here in the anchors we need to click on the center, and let's just reset this position x and position y. I'm going to move it to be, I think that this is pretty alright. Now we need to rename that to have this exact name, so w underscore skill underscore 1, and I'm going to actually copy that name. So let's compile, and you will see that the error for that skill 1 has disappeared. And you see now why we have declared a variable for a component that is a class of useSkill, because we have added this blueprint widget inside another widget. Okay, so that is the reason why we have did that. Now we need to do the same thing for those 10 of the rest of these components. So let's search for bpw underscore skill. So bpw, okay. Let's so wait, let me just try to copy that and to paste it. And yeah, actually we can paste that. So let's paste that again. I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to paste again and do something like this, and I'm going to paste it again. So let me just check in my at my other project what I have did. So I'm just going to adjust these okay, so yeah, it's a new basically how you're going to adjust the position of these skills. I'm just trying to make it look more prettier. Let me just copy one of these and do something like this. So and also here we need to set up one, and yeah, this is pretty alright. Let me just compile it and save it, and still we are getting basically an error for one. So what's that? Maybe, yeah, I think that this is the one that we need to rename. So let's compile, and yeah, actually the error for our skill widgets will disappear. Now we need to basically declare, or actually not declare, but create a components that will be the binding components for these line 1, line 2, and etc. All the way to the 10. So let's search for image. Let's search for image, and I'm going to actually anchor it to the center. I'm going to reset the position, and I'm going to increase the size X to be something like 200. Maybe 200 is too big, but 180. And the size Y needs to be something like 10, or not 10, but 5. And this will be basically a line that is going to connect each skill. So I'm going to rename it to be line underscore 1. And I have actually said many things in short period of time, so please guys, if anything is unclear, feel free to reach to us throughout our Discord server, or basically you can write a comment down below this video and our team is going to help you. So I'm actually going to decrease this size Y even more, so let's say 3. I'm going to rotate it here in the scale. I'm going to change this angle, so I'm going to do something like this, and I'm going to set it to be behind this these skills. So let me just copy that line component, and let's paste it, because we need to connect the other skills. So I'm going to do something like this, Like I said, it is not going to be quite perfect, but it is going to do the work that it needs to do for us. So let's again paste. Let's again paste, and I'm going to change the angle. So to something like this, and I'm going to paste another one here. Okay, so let me just click on that, and let me just change the angle, so to something like this. Okay, so something like this is going to be pretty fine. Right here, and yeah, I'm just going to move it to be something like this, and yeah, this is actually pretty alright. I'm just going to reset this because I have moved it, and yeah, this is actually the skill tree that we have created. Basically what we have did here, we have created a look for our skill tree widget that we are going to toggle on and off. So actually we are still getting the error, and that is because this line needs to be named line underscore 10, and now the errors will disappear. So yeah, we have did the right work. You will now actually see that we have this look for our skill tree widget, and basically yeah, in the next part we are going to implement a logic for toggling on and off our skill tree. Yeah, but we are going to leave that for the next part. So we have did everything that we had for this part. I'm going to try to make each part as short as possible. So yeah, please guys, if anything is not clear, feel free to reach to us to ask us anything that is confusing you, and our team is going to help you. So don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next part.